All right, I want you guys to be honest with me. Have you watched a thrift haul today? When I first started reselling, that is all I seemed to do is watch reseller content on YouTube. I'm talking thrift hauls with sold videos, day in the lives, tips and tricks videos. And while all of those can be super helpful to someone who doesn't know anything about reselling, after a while it could become kind of convoluted and really shake your confidence in reselling. Because so many people have different opinions on what's selling well and what is not, and the things that you should be picking up and the things you shouldn't be picking up. It can all become really confusing. It took me a long time to figure this out. I would say probably like 5 years. There's something else that you can do instead of watching thrift hauls that is way more accurate on finding bolos and items that you should pick up, especially ones in your area. So if you want to figure out the bolos, you want to figure out what is selling and have actual data to back it up, do this instead.
So let's say I want to look up a specific category that I know I want to get better at sourcing in, or one I'm interested in. I am going to choose women's pants today. So I'm literally just going to type in women's pants and I am going to hit search on eBay. Super generic. Next thing I'm going to do is filter to the solds. This is going to give me my sold results. I'm not really paying attention to any of the numbers quite yet. And then I am going to go to pre-owned, because more than likely items that I'm going to be finding at thrift stores are pre-owned. I do realize that there might be some that you may come across that are new with tags that you would want to know about. But in general, if the ones that are pre-owned that are doing well, you come across on this screen, more than likely they are also going to be good new with tags. So I'm just going to completely filter to pre-owned. And then the most important thing in my opinion is to filter by price. So you want to set your minimum and your maximum. And this is a completely different topic, but something you might want to consider is they do have a little bit of a graph here, which is easier to see on the app, but you can see based on pricing where most of the sales fall under. So I'm not sure what this is. Like I said, it's easier to see on the app. I would guess this is probably like $10 to like $25. And then you would know that most women's pants that have sold on eBay fall under this category. And it's just interesting to note. But regardless of that, for me, I want to focus on some higher tier bolos. I am trying to raise my average sale price. So I'm going to be kind of picky. And I want to leave a lot of room for offers, a lot of room in case the item doesn't sell in 90 days and I need to drop the price. I want to leave a lot of room for myself in this situation. So I am going to choose $35 as my minimum. That's not normally my minimum, but again, I'm trying to increase my average sale price and I want to expand my brand knowledge on higher ASP items instead of just living in the $25 realm, because it can be a lot of work. So looking for the bolos, I'm going to set mine to 35. If you guys want to follow along, you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. And I'm personally not going to set a maximum. You might choose to set a maximum if you want to filter out. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. We'll filter out any like bogus sales, basically any maybe auctions that someone bid completely up but never paid for, or luxury tier items we're probably never going to find. We'll set it to 500 and we will submit. Okay, so right now we have these filters applied. We have sold listings, which automatically filters completed. We have pre-owned, and then we have $35 to $500. So anything that sold within that range that is pre-owned in the last 90 days is going to come up here. And here we are. So I'm literally just going to start from the top. Everything is sorted by ended recently. That should be your default. If it's not, you're going to want to sort to that. And I literally just start scrolling. I've got a notepad here beside me that I'm going to use if I find any information I don't want to forget. I'm going to write it down, but I'm just going to go through and start learning some of these things. And basically, I'm just going to scroll until I see consistent brands, or if there's a brand I've never heard of. then I'm going to look for those. Something else that we can do, and I'll do it for this video. I don't know if you guys have this issue, but it always shows me international stuff. That's why these are italicized. I'm actually going to filter that out too, just because I'm probably not going to find that stuff, right? So I'm going to switch to North America. I guess I could have done US only, but this is good. This will filter out a lot of that stuff for us. So now I'm just going to scroll. Now, I'll be honest with you, a lot of these brands I do know, but I'm going to pretend that I don't for the purpose of this video and for anyone learning. So let's just say I haven't heard of this brand, Imogen and Willie. So I would just probably right click this and open the link in a new tab. And I'll do some research on this here in a minute. Let me open up another tab. So I've got several tabs open. I'm always going to leave this one open. And then I've got, if I open up any new tabs, I'm going to research those items. And then here I'm going to have like a comping one. So here's the original listing, which we click into. So one good thing about doing this is you can look visually to see what the brand is going to look like. And if you guys think that's not important, if you think, you know what, I just read it in a title and I'm going to remember it, maybe that's true, but you are more likely to remember something if you see it, hear it, and read it. So I would recommend doing all three of those things because you're more likely to remember something, and writing it down if it ends up being important. So here's a brand I've never heard of. I see that it sold for a decent price. I want to know, is this just like a one-off or is this actually worth getting? So Imogen and Willie. So I'm going to just search this brand as a whole. And just because I don't know the brand, we're not going to filter to women's pants. I just want to get an idea of the brand and if it's something I should be on the lookout for. So we're going to click on this. We got 548 results, and as I'm scrolling, I can see that there's just in the available section, definitely some items that are going to be worth getting. Let me filter to US only here. Definitely going to be worth getting. I can tell that there's probably some specific items that are going to do well. So we've got 521. We're going to go to sold. 544 sold results, just the brand alone. So it tells me that this is a brand looking for. So it doesn't mean that every single item in this brand is worth looking for and that if I see it, I'm just immediately going to get it. Absolutely not. I'm always going to do my comp. So if I come across a pair of jeans, I'm going to comp jeans in this brand. If I come across a t-shirt, I'm going to comp the t-shirts in this brand. So I'm still going to do my comps, but I'm going to take note of this brand. That way I can learn a little bit more about it. And one thing, again, that I find helpful is going through and kind of looking at a couple different items. That way you can get to know what the different tags look like. Like this looks a lot different than this, right? That way you can start knowing what all the tags look like. It's really going to help commit it to memory. Okay, so now we know that that's probably a brand worth getting. I'm going to exit out of that. We're going to go back to my original page. And I'm just going to kind of scroll. Like I said, a lot of these brands I have heard of before. But if you're doing this, it could be a great use of your time, like spending an hour doing this. This is something I do just about every morning. I don't usually spend an hour. I spend like 10 minutes to prepare me for the sourcing day. But that way I can learn some new brands, and you can also do this on your app. So scrolling through, Isabel Marant is a luxury brand. Lilly Pulitzer, I know about that one. Ibex is a good one. This is more of a wintry brand, but let's say you didn't know about Ibex and you're like, okay, I want to look at this. Open link in new tab. Click on the original listing. I'm going to get to know this brand a little bit. So Ibex. So let me look up Ibex. Now, instead of doing just a general search, if I wanted to, I could look up Ibex women's pants and be rather specific. So we're in the sold listings right now. We have 41 results. So let's see what the available are. 53 available. So that's a pretty good sell-through rate. 53 into 41. not 100%, but that tells me there's a good following for it. And from here I can kind of scroll, get to know the brand and see what things they're going for and try to commit some of these to memory. And if I wanted to, I could start clicking into some of these things. And it is good to, I guess, get a vibe of the brand. So I can tell just by looking at this, they have a lot of wool stuff. I can see that what's selling are the wool items. I can tell this brand is probably going to be known for wool and for some very simple, like neutral colored pieces. That way I know what to be on the hunt for and where I might find these pieces. All right, so we're going to click out of that. Let's keep scrolling. There's some Carhartt carpenter pants. And as you're scrolling, you might see some brands that you're like, man, I don't normally get Carhartt, let's say, but I noticed that carpenter pants keep showing up. You could commit to maybe researching this later, open it up in a new tab or write it down and go, what is so special about these? Well, these are carpenter pants and they've got a double knee canvas. What does double knee mean? So you could, go down a whole rabbit hole and figure out quite a bit of stuff, not just brands, but also stuff that is really going to help you as far as factors that would be good in every brand. Here's a pair of leggings that came up. This is K-Deer. If you guys didn't know this, could open it up in a new tab, click into it, so you could get to know, okay, on the back of these, I see K-Deer. Let's look up K-Deer leggings. And we're going to filter without a size. Oh, it did it anyways. There we go. All right, so in the solds, we have 195, and it's probably going to filter to sold once you click it, by the way, so you're going to have to go back to available. But 195, let's take off the sold listings. Okay, so 171 available, 195 sold. That's a crazy good sell-through rate, right? Now I know that this is a bolo that I want to look for, and I might click into a couple of these just to get to know the brand and research what their tags look like and just, again, get an overall feel for what this brand is. Doing this is going to help you when you're at the thrift store and cherry picking. You're not going to pass over this because you're going to know what this item is. All right, let's move on. Not sure how many minutes I'm going to do this, but just wanted to show you guys. This has been super beneficial for me, more beneficial than thrift hauls, and it can really help. Okay, here is a brand, Tibby. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. I'm going to open this in a new tab for you. T-I-B-I. I always ask myself when I pull these up, is this something I actually would have looked at and comped, or would I have passed over this? This would be one that I would pass on. They're just a pair of white nylon pants. Very simple tag. To me, doesn't look like something. Kind of looks almost boutique-y to me, which is why it's good to do these comps. So let's look up Tibby women's pants. Okay, so there are 35 sold, some sold for quite a bit, and there's 281 available. So that tells me that there's not the best sell-through rate on eBay for these, but that some particular ones could go for good money. And actually just scrolling through, you can see people have these listed for quite a bit. So in this scenario, I would either choose to, okay, am I going to erase this from my brain? Can I just move on because the sell-through rate's there? Should I not even bother? Or if I came across it, is it worth holding out for the right price, even though the sell-through rate's not good? If I decide that I want to commit it to memory, I'm going to go to the solds and I'm going to try to get an understanding of what the commonality is in the solds. So in pants, in Tibby, is there a common theme? Are there particular ones that are selling well? To be honest with you, these look kind of all over the place. So in my opinion, this would be an item that I would go, okay, I know I can't pick up everything in this brand, but if I came across it, I might decide to get it and price lower than everyone else just to sell through rate. I would probably not get this brand, in my opinion, just because of sell-through rate, but it would be good to know if you're somebody that's looking for higher end pieces and you are willing to wait. Okay, moving on. Never heard of that brand. Some Lululemon. This is nice. Ralph Lauren leather cargo moto pants. And as I've been doing this, I started noticing like mall brands, common brands that I would come across all the time that would show up in these search results. And I'm like, there's no way that this could be selling for $35 and over. And it kind of initiates research for you to go, okay, why are a bunch of J. Crew pants showing up in this search when I pass on J. Crew all the time? As I start scrolling through, last time I did this, I noticed that linen in J. Crew pants was performing extremely well. So then I would do a research on J. Crew women's linen pants. 701 sold, 1,200 available. Not a terrible sell-through rate, not the best. But it does tell you that that is a factor in J. Crew worth looking into and considering while you are outsourcing, and it tells you that it does add value. So I think we're only like a few in. I could spend all day doing this, but this has been some of the best use of my time is just studying the sold listings. We're only on yesterday, so it's showing you all of the sales of all sellers. So June 3rd, these are very recent comps. This is what is actually selling right now, which tells you this is probably what you should be searching for while you go out sourcing. And I have found that by doing this, I'm able to prepare my mind in order to source better items as I'm cherry picking. I'm just such a better sourcer because I've, done the research, and there have definitely been brands that I wrote down that I'm looking for now that I know that I've passed on before, and then I'm going to have like a $40 average sale price on. So this is a way that I do it. And I wanted to show you one more bonus tip. If you guys want to see more of these in different categories, let me know, but I highly encourage you guys to do this yourselves as well. Bonus tip for you. So what you can do not instead, but in addition to going through each of these, which is, I think, the most important, is digging deep and doing the research, is once you're already in the women's pants or whatever category search, you've applied all of your filters, you can scroll down to more filters. You can only do this on desktop, by the way. It's going to pull up all of this, and it took me a long time to figure this out, but there's a lot of data in this because you're going to be able to see within your search parameters, which you can see these are still filtered here. You can see where the factors are at, what are the most valuable factors, by seeing, okay, how many results, what is the size with the most results, and that's going to be the most popular size to look for, and the ones with the lowest results in your solds are going to be the ones you want to look for the least. And it can be a great way to unlock new factors and just really sharpen your mind for sourcing. So within this search, again, we've just generically searched women's pants. We've got pre-owned between $35 and $500 solds in North America. So within my parameters, the majority of the listings that I am seeing are large and extra large. So I know that's going to be a really fantastic size. And then as we get smaller, we see that starts to drop. Oh, actually, medium's really good too. So it kind of gives you a range of sizes. You could also go to color and get an idea from there what's working best. I can already tell that neutrals are probably going to be my best bet, or blue. Leg style. There's a lot of stuff here. You can see wide leg is super high, so we know that that's really trendy in women's pants right now. Brand. This, guys, this can be super, super beneficial if you're willing to do the research to know, okay, where I see most of the numbers. Alice and Olivia, really great one. I know that that's probably one worth getting. Now, that's not to say that the ones with the lower numbers aren't worth getting, only because, you know, they might be more rare. But the ones with the higher numbers, you're more likely to come across, and they're worth committing to memory. Like, look at Banana Republic here. There's 82 that fall in that category. So, great way to study. Style, a lot of cargo, ankle, joggers. These are the eBay drop downs. Pattern. Solids like number one. Rise. Mid and high. We all knew that. Occasion I'm not going to click. Season I'm not going to click. Closure. Let's see if that's anything. Drawstrings really high on the list. Pull on and button up. Gonna pass these. Gonna pass that. Fabric type. That might be a good one to look for. You got canvas, twill, knit. I think we're running out of stuff to look for because I wouldn't look through all these, but material is going to be a big one. Linen. You can see linen's really, really high up there. Nylon, the more athletic-y feeling ones. Cotton. Some silk. Some wool even still. So, hope that this gives you guys an idea. And you could really go as far as you wanted to with this. You could start applying some of these filters and studying, you know, within, let's say, linen pants. Again, still within all of my filters. Okay, what in linen pants can I look for? And then if you wanted to just go through women's pants and any linen you see, look for these brands. You'd be in really, really good shape as far as sourcing goes. So I hope that you guys find this helpful.
So I hope that you guys found this helpful. Give it a try for a week. Every time before you go sourcing, just do this method 5 to 10 minutes before, and you can certainly do this on your app as well, which is usually where I'm doing it while I'm sipping some coffee and getting ready for my day. Pick a category, stick with it, and then the next time you go sourcing, pick another category and try to stick with that. Over time, you will learn all of the categories. I recommend doing this constantly, pretty much, because seasonality can change, and as you move throughout the seasons, you're going to pick up on some different bolos, and also some things that might not be good right now might be good in a few months. The learning process never stops with reselling, but the learning process can become faster and more efficient. And I hope that I was able to accomplish that with you guys today. If you guys try this method, give it about a week and come back to this video and let me know how it went. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. If you like reseller content like this and you want to be notified every single time I post a video like this, then subscribe down below and hit that notification bell. If you like this video, you can also give it a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. I'm going to get back to researching. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye.